Coming up on Mountain News this morning, time is running out for the veto session as lawmakers prepare to end the legislative session this week. And businesses struggling to recover from last month's flooding are finding help through loans designed for small companies.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on WYMT. The date is Wednesday, March 26th, and the time is just reaching towards 6:30 this morning, which means it's time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal for a look at that forecast this morning. Megan, we've had some cooler temperatures as we've started our spring, and I know today we've really been honing in on that sunshine, so at least I wore yellow for some good news.
Well, there you go. Today is a day of good news. Probably the best weather you'll see this week in terms of rain, because there's not going to be many chances. We're looking mainly at partly cloudy skies with maybe a sprinkle or two here and there, but for the most part, enjoy the drier weather. Take a look outside at the visibility, because we are seeing some denser fog as you're traveling towards the north of our region. If you're going anywhere towards Ashland, you can expect the densest fog. Only 0.3 mile visibility, so be safe out there if you are driving into patches of fog. Drive slow, have those low beams on. But let's talk about the rain chance. Now, we did have some rain moving overnight, but it has since cleared up. Now we're just looking at a sprinkle here or there, and that's pretty much the story for the rest of the day, seeing the clouds roll in and out of the region. Current temperatures this morning, though, are chilly. We're mainly sitting in the 30s and 40s, but we will get up into the mid to upper 50s this afternoon. Not too bad, just a little chilly for this time of year. Here's how we'll get to the high temperatures for today. We'll hit around that 4 o'clock mark, seeing increase in cloud cover as you're heading into the evening hours. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. Well, Governor Andy Beshear has only one more day to veto any bills passed this session. One bill he's already vetoed is House Bill 6. The bill would redefine the term major economic impact to $500,000 over a 2-year span. The bill says any action that costs more than that would be carried out by the legislative branch rather than the executive branch. Those in favor of the bill say it gives citizens more input on Kentucky policy, but Governor Andy Beshear and other state Democrats say it would interfere with implementing other bills.
I understand the idea behind this bill. I just don't think that it's necessary, and we're going to accidentally do ourselves undue harm.
Exceptions to the change include when there's an imminent threat to public health and safety, or if there's a need to prevent the loss of federal or state funds. Governor Beshear signed 20 bills yesterday, vetoed 12, and returned 4 more without a signature. Among those he signed, House Bill 342 requires a financial literacy course in high school, and House Bill 443, which makes Highway 80 through Perry, Knott, and Floyd counties part of the Hal Rogers Parkway. Among the bills he vetoed was House Bill 684, which limits the forms of valid identification that may be used to allow a voter to cast a ballot, and Senate Bill 89, which the governor says eliminates protections in place to prevent the pollution of groundwater and flooding of creeks, streams, and rivers. Republican legislators will likely override Governor Beshear's vetoes during the final 2 days of the legislative session, Thursday and Friday. After some persuading from his 2 teenage kids, Governor Andy Beshear signed House Bill 15 into law, officially allowing 15-year-olds to get their driving permit. The language in the bill says once it was signed into law, it takes effect immediately. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul is proposing a new piece of legislation that would exclude certain snack foods from SNAP benefits. Senator Paul introduced the Nutritious SNAP Act. The law would prohibit SNAP funds from being used to buy sodas and foods like potato chips and desserts. Senator Paul hopes the bill would realign SNAP with its original mission to improve the nutrition of low-income households. 3 Kentucky teens are struggling to make ends meet after their father was detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Adrian Garcia Zaragoza was first arrested Thursday night over a 2019 failure to appear charge. His family paid bail, but ICE took him into custody. His daughter says he lost his work permit after a house fire destroyed his documentation. Now she and her siblings are selling their belongings to survive.
We sold all of our stuff like TVs. My brother sold his truck parts, everything. And that only paid for the deposit. And then like we had to buy food, and then we're gonna have to pay rent, electric, water, everything if he doesn't get out.
They're still raising money for a lawyer, but he could be deported by Friday. Our sister station reached out to ICE for comment, but have not heard back. As small businesses work to recover from the February flood, organizations are offering a little money to help them make ends meet. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has a look at an opportunity in Pike County.
Many small businesses are still looking for help after the February flood soaked stores throughout the region.
Well, the flooding hitting so many businesses, it was just devastating. I saw how everybody had to pull all their inventory out and put it in the parking lot and just throw it away.
In the city of Coal Run, the piles of debris are being cleaned up in the Weddington Plaza, and some nearby businesses are beginning to reopen, while others are reimagining their next steps.
Small businesses are the backbone of our business community. They add so much to the local economy and the local culture. And we want to make sure that they're going to be around for a long time.
The Pikeville Community Foundation, under the umbrella of Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky, is hoping to be a part of that growth, offering small business flood relief grants for up to $5,000 to impacted businesses in Pike County with plans to reopen.
It was just devastating, and it's made a big financial impact on people, and we're so sorry that they had to be impacted by that, but we're hoping we can give them some relief.
Inviting owners to apply for assistance through an online application in an effort to rally behind the businesses as they work to come back stronger.
We just want to make sure the word gets out to everybody that there's help out there.
Hoping to see the mud cleaned up and the open signs lit up. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The deadline for applications is Friday, March 28th. You can find more information and how to apply on our website, WYMT.com. Genetic testing company 23andMe is filing for bankruptcy, and some of its customers are concerned about what will happen to their personal information. 23andMe has information from its customers that range from DNA, names, addresses, and height. Thomas Chase Gullett, CEO of Phishing Box, a Lexington cybersecurity company, says customers can go to the 23andMe site and go through the settings panel and delete personal information.
Best thing you can do is keep aware of your situation and monitor your credit, and make sure that no one's out there using your identity.
Gullett says government-sponsored and pharmaceutical companies could be interested in buying the company and collecting 23andMe's customer information. Two Southern Kentucky men out fishing made a discovery that may have saved a woman's life. Jamie Perkins and Aaron Seaver were fishing in the Little Laurel River near Corbin when they came upon a search crew who said they were looking for a missing older woman. Moments later, they said they heard a woman talking near the riverbank. They called out to her, and it took a while for her to respond. They realized it was the woman who had been missing for 2 days and were able to talk her into getting into their boat and getting her to safety.
You don't really hear of finding somebody, I guess, her age after the conditions we've had with the storm and the cold at night. She was in really good shape other than being a little bit disoriented. She was standing.
The two say the woman told them she was able to find a place to sleep at night and never appeared to be scared of being alone. Her family told rescue workers that she recently began suffering from dementia. In less than 2 weeks, one of the Duke boys returns to Hazard, Kentucky. Dukes of Hazzard actor John Schneider will host a flood relief benefit concert in Hazard on Tuesday, April 8th, which is also his 65th birthday. It starts at 7 at the Forum. Tickets are still available. Every penny raised will go to flood relief through the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky. This comes 43 years after Schneider participated in another benefit concert in Hazard for the families affected by a mine disaster.
As you're heading out the door this morning, those temperatures are on the chilly side of things. You might need that coat this morning, mainly sitting in the 30s and 40s. And as you head into the afternoon, a light jacket still might be necessary as we're sitting in the mid 50s for most of the area. Getting a little bit warmer as you travel more towards the south in the upper 50s and low 60s. We saw a little bit of rain this morning, but it's cleared out. Now we're just watching the clouds move out of our southern counties, and some more clouds could move into our northern counties as we're going through the next couple of hours. We'll expect those mostly sunny skies for the morning hours, seeing cloud cover again increase throughout the day, looking at mostly cloudy skies by the time you head into the evening hours. But on the way to school, you can expect the upper 30s with those cloudy skies, and on the way home, the low 50s. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. Well, this year brought snow, ice, flooding, and strong winds to Kentucky, which can affect the blooms sprouting this spring. Most plants that are blooming early in the season are expected to be able to handle late season cold snaps. But when it comes to cold wind gusts, impacts come down to species and placement. Joe Ellis with the Sunshine Grow Shop says Kentucky's strong wind gusts can cause problems for petals.
Anything that's closer to the ground, the shorter the plant, the less the wind is going to affect it. If you can plant near the house, you'll usually get a little bit of a break from wind.
But he says not all bad weather is bad for plants. For example, a strong thunderstorm could cause plants and foliage to grow excessively and even seem more vibrant. Well, thank you for joining us at 6:40. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Maryland state officials honored the victims of last year's major Baltimore bridge collapse, while experts worry about the safety of bridges across the country.